Hey guys, Curtis here. I'm going to address a question from a personal perspective. And this is a question that many people from outside of our path would ask. And it's one that is often neglected. So this question is very simple. Why would one approach left-hand path spirituality? What is left-hand path spirituality? Now, first of all, we must understand that this is not a choice between good and evil, as presented through a Judeo-Christian lens or an Abrahamic lens. This is basically an educated decision to rebel against that duality by accepting the totality of the life experience, that which is lunar and that which is solar, that which is positive and that which is negative, because they all have lessons to provide us with. Okay? So to me, at its heart, that is what left-hand path spirituality is about. Sorry, my Hatoshka got nuts. Um, that is what left-hand path spirituality is about to me. You see, because we must embrace that dark side of self and learn how to channel it towards more productive ends in our life. Instead of seeking power, for instance, through violence or hate and prejudice that is programmed into us through the acceptance of duality, we choose to embrace all and learn from it and to be content. Now, we understand that chaos, darkness, the color black, contains all colors of the light spectrum. It is the womb of all that is good. So we look at light and dark as mutually dependent instead of trying to compartmentalize them as absolutes, such as good and evil, because these things are subjective and oftentimes circumstantial. To know thyself, to know your true will, your true desires in life, and to find out and discover your beliefs by validating your faith through your own experience. You become empowered. Now, we must come to understand that religion always originates in the minds of the ruling class. Zoroastrianism was the first time that good and evil was compartmentalized and made absolute. It was the beginning of the duality found within modern day religion, a duality of good and evil. And it is no coincidence that the Persian Empire rose as a result of that. We look to the Roman Empire, and historically we can trace the fact that Christianity was created by them. These things are created by the ruling class to keep you from becoming antinomian, to keep you from discovering who you are in relationship to everything else. Because that's what life is. It is a process of relating to other people. This is about exploring the depths of self and not necessarily changing self for the reason of vanity, but it's about changing self for the better. And it is oftentimes very dark and very painful, but the rewards are worth the effort. Because by changing self, you learn to change that which is outside of self just by altering your perception of things. Yes, this is really what it comes down to. In magic, in sorcery, what is this? How does this apply? Well, it applies in this way. It is cause and effect. Instead of looking at things as right or wrong, you want to study cause and effect. When you think this way, this causes patterns of events such as this. When I have this attitude, this causes patterns of events such as this. When I stick to this routine, I get these results. When I say something in this way, I get this response from this person. You see, it's about discovering the truth and the heart of these issues, and then sculpting your reality by taking mastery of yourself through knowledge of these things. And in this way, you gain power and influence over self, which is always more rewarding than gaining power over another. That should never be our objective. You see, because we do not believe that we are not accountable for that which we do wrong. If we do something that we subconsciously know is terrible, we are accountable for that. There is no God to redeem us. So, my religion to me is actually being much like Christ. I spit in the face of the religious paradigm and the dogma of the day. I tell people that God is right here. The faith of a mustard seed can indeed move mountains. Christ called himself the morning star, which is that of Venus. Love. Pre-Christianity, Lucifer. You see? Get to know self. This is how you learn to effectively get to know the world outside of you. By getting to change self and learning the principles of cause and effect, you learn to change that which is outside of you. As above, so below. As within, so without. These are Hermetic principles. I think I've said enough in regard to this. It's a rather complex subject which one could go on and on and on about. But just know that this is not a matter of rebellion for the sake of rebellion either. This should be an educated decision. I have the equivalent of a 2-year Bible degree. I really did give Christianity a shot, but when I did the research, and I looked at the facts, and I began to explore what I felt and believed, I began to realize that it's good to ask questions. It's good to ask questions and to try and find truth for yourself. It's good to look within. Blessings to you all. Have a good evening.